Welcome to my channel. This is the story of a Reddit user. I've always been fascinated by high-rise buildings. When I was a kid, I remember looking up at the John Hancock Tower and thinking, wow, someone lives up there. Someone actually has a bedroom with a view like that. But it was until I moved to a big city that I realized that most of the apartments in high-rises are kind of crappy. Like they're usually really small, dark and depressing, and the buildings filled with rules. But one thing that always bothered me was the third floor. Like, why is the third floor always empty? No one ever seems to live there. The protagonist of our story bought an apartment on the fourth floor of a high-rise building and soon noticed that the third floor was still vacant. The elevator didn't stop there and the stairs had no door. But one night he was awoken to what sounded like footsteps above him. Now this was weird because he lived on the fourth floor. Later he would hear the footsteps multiple times, always at night, always above him. One night he got out of bed and decided to go see what was going on. He walked over to the elevator and pressed the button to go up. Then he got in, and when the elevator doors closed, he started to feel a strong wind pushing against him. Suddenly, the elevator lurched upward and the man found himself shooting up several floors. When the elevator finally stopped, the man stepped out on what was supposed to be the fifth floor. But when he turned around, he saw that the elevator was no longer there. In its place was a sign that read, "Out of order." The man shrugged it off and went back to his apartment. But then the knocking began. It was coming from behind the walls of his apartment. Someone was knocking from the other side, and when he went to check, he discovered that the knocking was coming from the third floor apartment above him. He could even hear the person breathing on the other side of the wall. The man called the police, but they couldn't find any signs of forced entry or any evidence that anyone had been in the apartment. And so the man was left to deal with the scratching and knocking from the apartment above him all by himself. Thanks for watching. Bye.